AITA for refusing to take care of a special needs child during my son's birthday party? Hello all. This has been weighing heavily on my mind lately. My son is in elementary school and one of his friends is special needs. We will call him Elliot. He's a very sweet boy but needs extra help with a lot of things, including using the restroom. I am very close with his parents and they have been family friends for years. Our whole family hangs out, including grandparents. Often. It was the day of my son's party and about half of the kids were dropped off and the other half had their parents leave. This is about the time I should mention I did go to school for nursing for a bit but ended up dropping out, so I do have some experience but not a lot. I'm running around helping all the kids do their activity, get food, and so on. Elliot comes up and tugs on my shoulder saying he needs to go potty and needs my help. Because of his individual needs, it takes around 20 minutes to help him use the restroom. It's not a quick thing at all. I said, "Oh sweetheart, I can't help you, so you will need to go to your parents, okay?" He told me that they were gone and to ask for you. Came my mother-in-law walking up. She said, "I told them you had a handle on it and they should take a few hours to go and have fun. So they left. I'll watch the kids, you go do what you need to do." And she handed me his bag full of bathroom stuff. I was furious with rage and embarrassment and pity for this child. I kept it calm for Elliot, but it's my son's birthday party and all I can think is one. I didn't volunteer for this. And I want to watch my son enjoy his party too. I would be furious if I left my child with somebody I knew and trusted, and came back and they were gone for 20 minutes with a stranger watching my kid. And 3. My mother-in-law did not have the right to say I do something I'm not comfortable with. I told Elliot, "I'm sorry, I can't help you today." Then I turned to my mother-in-law, took her out of earshot and told her she would have to figure it out or call his parents to come back. That I could not do this today and leave the kids that I'm responsible for. Elliot looked a little shocked when I told him no, but then just looked at my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law was beyond shocked and furious. She eventually was able to get a hold of his parents with my husband's help, but she has been very short with me since. She told my husband that since I was basically a nurse that I shouldn't have a problem doing that for Elliot and she could have watched the kids just fine. My husband told her that she shouldn't have assumed I would be able to help Elliot. Elliot's parents were annoyed but apologetic to me. They had assumed it was my idea. I do feel horrible, but I don't feel comfortable doing this for Elliot and stepping away from the party for so long. I also want to clarify that for some of the kids I was the only adult that they knew at the party. So, am I the asshole for refusing to help a special needs child during a party I was running? NTA. I told them you had a handle on it and they should take a few hours to go and have fun. So they left. I'll watch the kids, you go do what you need to do. I need to watch you handle the mess you just created. NTA. I've been a nurse almost 20 years and have never worked in pediatrics other than occasionally subbing as a school nurse and handing out ice packs and band-aids. I've not done any kind of catheterization or bowel interventions on anyone in 15+ years. I would never want to assume a child's individual needs and assist them medically to the bathroom in non-work setting without detailed instructions from the parent, having clear consent, etc. This is on your mother-in-law and the parents who left the child without confirming his needs were met and instructing you in the process. NTA. Your mill way overstepped. And I can't believe the parents of a child who needs help in the toilet would just leave him with the host of a party. Poor kid. NTA. But your mill is sure a pip. That one. You did the right thing here, as it was no way your responsibility for Elliot. I would have flat out told Mill, "Do you ever offer my service to anyone, and since you promised it, then Mill dearest, you can just do it." There are violating, soft boundaries from time to time and irritating, but this was violating the Berlin Wall of boundaries that should never be violated. Demand of your husband that Mill apologize immediately to all involved, including Elliot, or she will never see your kids ever again. You need to put your down hard on this one, as it is simply unforgivable. NTA. There's no such thing as basically a nurse. You couldn't apply for a job and say, I don't have the required degree but it's okay. I'm basically a nurse. She shouldn't have offered your help. If she wanted to give them the time, she should have took it upon herself. NTA. I honestly can't imagine tossing a little boy at virtual strangers and telling them to take him alone to the bathroom for an extended period of time. That seems like it could go south real fast with the wrong person. When most kids are, well, it's someone they know. Also, is there something wrong with your Mill that she couldn't take this virtual stranger to the bathroom? What makes you so special other than not being a nurse? NTA. Your Mill is though and seemed the logical person to help Elliot with his bathroom needs since she invited his parents to leave. I would, however, like to suggest you not phrase it as Elliot is special needs, as if it defines him, but rather say Elliot has special needs. NTA. I'm embarrassed for you, but please don't feel guilty. It's not your fault that you have a Mill problem. Set up boundaries with enforceable consequences for her now, before this gets out of hand. Your Mill wanted to take your place as the person there for your son. NTA. And I'm sorry Elliot was in the middle but Mill overstepped. NTA. Your Mill is though. Why didn't she take him to the bathroom? And nurse or not shouldn't matter. It was your child's birthday. Of course you want to be with your child. NTA. My husband and I would never leave our disabled child with others in those sorts of circumstances. We would never presume that someone would take care of her under any circumstances. And we either split up, if our able child has something to do, or attend, or decline invitations outright if they won't work for us, our family, our disabled child. Your Mill, though, is quite the and I'm glad your husband stood up for you to her. 1. I didn't volunteer for this. And I want to watch my son enjoy his party too. I would be furious if I left my child with somebody I knew and trusted, and came back and they were gone for 20 minutes with a stranger watching my kid. And 3. My mother-in-law did not have the right to say I'd do something I'm not comfortable with. 4. The parents never should have assumed it was your idea for them to leave. When your Mill told them it was okay, they should have checked in with you first. This wasn't just a friendly get-together between friends. This was a party that had you in charge of multiple children. If Mill wanted them to have a break, then she should have taken charge and taken care of Elliot's needs as they arose. NTA. NTA. You're running the party, and it's all revolving around you. And why is your mother-in-law shooing away parents that stuck around? The parents stayed for a reason. Maybe because they want to help. Or maybe because they knew their kids couldn't handle being alone at a party yet. NTA. But I'm really kind of astounded at the people who think untrained lay people should be trying to catheterize small children. Like, just because OP has a semester or two of nursing school education doesn't mean she has any actual catheterization experience, let alone on a petty. You guys are wild, rolling on the floor laughing. Your Mill caused this problem, but Elliot's parents allowed themselves to be convinced of something on the fly that they probably wouldn't have agreed to if they had thought it through beforehand. You had obligations to the other children, and it would have been inappropriate for you to disappear and leave them with your Mill who they don't know. You aren't trained to handle Elliot's care and had not worked it into your host plans. You are NTA. However, I would probably debrief with both Mill and with Elliot's parents so nothing like this happens again. In the case of MIL, I would be very straight with her that she had no right to make that sort of executive decision on your behalf, and it is not to be repeated. In the case of Elliot's parents, I would apologize for your MIL's poor judgment and the way she sideswiped them with a suggestion that was totally unworkable on the ground. Sorry you had to call them back, but you just weren't able to fit it in when you had so many other children who needed your direct supervision. NTA. Your Mill was all sorts of out of line in suggesting parents leave their kids and go have fun. NTA. But your mother is. You're not a nurse and she shouldn't be treating you like one. She also shouldn't be commandeering your son's party so she could have a feel-good moment. Your Mill seems selfish. If the child's parents intended to leave, they needed your consent, not your Mill. Since she apparently volunteered you for bathroom duty, they shouldn't have left without knowing you were willing to help him and had everything you needed to do so. I suppose you could have sucked it up, but I see the responsibility for the child as being on the parents, not a third party telling them someone else will care for their child's special needs. I'm sure the offer was really enticing, a respite for a few hours. But ultimately this is their child and their responsibility. Though, because in the end, it was the child who was probably embarrassed and confused. Bad situation all around. NTA. You only signed up to help out your son and his friends that he invited. Your mother-in-law has no place to force you to watch a child that you weren't responsible for, nor to get mad at you for not doing so. She did this without your permission and lied to his parents acting like you did. NTA. I'm shocked the parents were okay handing responsibility for their child over to anyone. And, as for your Mill, she owes you a huge apology, and I would curtail all contact with her, including contact between her and your children, until she comes, hat in hand, and offers up an apology that includes an understanding of why she is wrong. Wrong.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.